Working for the weekend, then I wanna see a show. I flip on the book of face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man over there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community with great advice. I know who I should go see. So all around town radio show is where I go for the latest band info. So should be able to hear till there we go. I can't hear you. No, you.
There we go. I hope you can hear me now. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, I can hear
you. Can hear me now. All right, we're good. I hope you heard all that business I was talking about, but we had a little audio glitch here in the studio. That's what happens when you're at the mercy of Wi-Fi.
Yes.
And it does go on. And let me welcome to the program today, guys, our guest here on Wednesday with the band, the one, the only, Mr. Tim Anderson. Tim,
hello.
How are you?
Great. Good afternoon. Good.
It's been a while since we had you on the show and you were wearing wild hats and headdresses and all those things, and telling us some stories about your, can I call it your past life now, I guess?
Yeah, you can call it that. Yeah.
All right. Talking about stuff you've done over the years with the Naked Karate Girls, and it's been a hell of a run. You've killed it at every show, and everybody just loves that band. And you're making a big life change. You've taken an exit ramp. You're going down a new highway today, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, I decided to we called it retired. We figured it would sound better for the business for NKG.
Well, that's good.
But
quit's a bad word.
Quit's a bad word. Yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah, that means I can still use my like list, and they can pull me in at any time, which is
cool
about doing. But yeah.
That's always cool. So let me ask you this. You've done this a long time. Why the change?
Why the change? It's been 17 years of doing it. I've got to do a lot of stuff with that. Got to do a lot of traveling, meet a lot of people, and it's been a lot of fun. I wanted to end on a high note. I didn't want to end not liking them. So it was a good time for me to do it. I'm starting to get up there in age, as you can tell from the gray and everything. But it's time for me to move on and do something else. And that takes up every weekend and, every Friday, Saturday. And my wife is so incredibly happy now because now we can actually use the camper that we bought 2 years ago. Instead of using it 2 times a year, I can at least use it a little bit more than that. So, and then, we just get to slow down a little bit. So I'm excited for that. I'm good. Yeah.
Are you really slowing down though?
Yeah, a little bit slowing down.
Maybe a little bit.
Because I hope to ramp back up here.
You're not leaving the world of music though. You're it's obvious you love what you do, looking at the wall behind you and everything else. I mean, you have an affinity for music, obviously, and you're not leaving at all. You are going to do some fun things here in the future. And let's first and foremost wish the guys well from NKG, because they are just wonderful people, and we'll still continue on to put on fantastic shows across the region and the world, and on world tour or whatever they're doing.
Yeah,
but it's a wonderful thing, and that's got to be, before we get into what you're doing next, it's got to be tough. It does, to step away from something that's been in your heart so strong for so many years. Did it take a long time to make that decision and say, I need to spend more time just focusing on me a little bit and home?
Yeah, a little bit it did, because it all started about probably 6 months ago when I realized that I'm done. I don't have the passion. I'm losing the passion, and I don't want to put forth a crappy product for the band, that kind of thing. So I just had to call it, and just call it for what it is, and be like, I don't want to put out a crappy product. So, but it was about a year prior to that I constantly would be telling my wife that, oh, I got to go to work. It started getting to a joke of, I've got to go to work. It's not, oh, I get to go play. I'm going to go play. I'm going to go perform. I'm going to go work. So it got to be a lot. And I just didn't like that, leaving the house saying something like that. So
can I just say too, I wish more people took your philosophy like that, because I have worked with bands all over the place and national acts and all that who absolutely despise each other, and they come out on stage and they go through the motions and then they leave and never even speak to each other. And that's got to be miserable. I mean, it does. It's just got to be like, why are we doing this? It's for the paycheck and nothing more. And sometimes the paycheck's not always the best for the mental health, is it?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, the pay was very good for that, and I didn't have to walk away from that. But Steve Strobe, reading and talking at the same time, that's really hard.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, thank you. Good friend, actually.
So
go ahead,
Tim. When do you want to talk about this new project? You want to get into that?
So I'll start with, yes, I'm done doing Naked Karate Girls, and I'll be doing other stuff. I've been doing an open mic in Loveland at a place called Hops and Berry every other Wednesday. So I have been doing other musical stuff. I've actually learned to play the guitar, as you can see, which, my wife is always like, why do you need more? I don't have one that's, a burnt sunburn. I don't have one, so.
You've got the addiction.
I got the addiction. And then also, I've really been having a really good time going to open mic night at Bell and the Bear, or Open Jam. I've been having a lot of fun doing that. And that's been challenging and a lot of fun for me to challenge myself and be like, okay, Counting Crows, Jealous Again. I think I know it. Next thing you know, it's like, oh my God, I actually do know that show. So it's a lot of fun. That really kind of has challenged me a little bit. But so I guess I'll start by saying that 6 months ago, when I made the announcement that I'm going to be leaving Naked Karate Girls, everybody was asking, what are you going to do? Where are you going? I'm like, I'm just going to kind of wait and see what happens. And then a few days later is when Mike Zapp from the Whammies contacted me and said, hey, I see that you're getting ready to leave. Are you still completely done? I said, no, I'm not. Getting excited knowing where he's going with this too. So he was like, would you want to step in with the Whammies? And I was like, this is a perfect fit. This is like NKG light. I can still wear some of the funny outfits. I could be goofy on stage. But I'm just not playing all the time, which is good. And I grew up in the 80s, so I know a lot of these songs and stuff. So yeah, so I guess if you want to go ahead and post it out there, I am officially the lead singer for the Whammies. And I got my guys here with me. So Scott, if you want to bring them in.
Let's surprise everybody with all our special guests. We're going Brady Bunch today, guys. We are here. So let's see what we can do if I can get all these guys added in. Wow. I got a logo there for Jeff. How you doing, Jeff? There he is.
That was cool.
Wasn't that kind of neat? Yeah, that was
Yeah.
slick. So joining me is Josh up there next to Tim. We've got Jeff, Joe, and Mike. Guys, you need to unmute your microphones, if you will.
Hey.
So now we don't have all that background noise and all that fun stuff. So Tim, first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
Really cool. Yes, big round of applause there for Tim. And we want to say I couldn't think of anybody better to fill the shoes of my friend Mike down there in the bottom right corner of the screen, because Mike has put his passion and heart into this project for a long time, and really good. I'm trying to figure out which one of you's got that awful hissing background noise like a sink running. Give me a minute. We'll figure it out. Somewhere here.
Who gets blamed? Who gets blamed?
We'll see. We're moving across the blame. Mike is Mike. Mike's got the hiss.
Turn the air conditioner off.
Hold on, I gotta unmute you, Mike. Well, you gotta unmute you, Mike, because I can't unmute you anymore for some reason.
Oh,
Is that what you hear?
we're in the
Yeah.
bathroom.
That's what we heard. Was that a toilet?
Are you
flushing?
still here? No, I'm sitting here. I've been sitting here the whole time. So don't get it.
Well-
Is it still there?
We hear you.
We're good. Let's talk about this thing, guys. Let's first of
hear you.
all, Mike, I haven't had a chance to have you on the show, and we wanted to do that. We talked about it one day, but
Yeah.
to talk about your exit here. So, real quickly, if you can, why don't you say a few words to those who have adored you on the stage and enjoyed your show for a long time?
Well, within the last year, I've took a different position at my company, and I'm now in sales, which takes me on the road 3 days a week. Our setup has changed a little bit with the band. We've expanded our production value, and what we're doing now takes a little bit more time. And so I didn't feel that I was putting my effort into it as much as I could. I was kind of just phoning it in, and I didn't want to do that for the project. I didn't want to do that for everybody else. And more importantly, because I was traveling so much, playing on 5 days a month at least, I wasn't putting any time towards my family. And being recently divorced, my daughter being 12 and son about to graduate from high school, I felt it was really important that I spend as much time with them as I could before they didn't like me anymore. So that's where that's the main reason, is just to spend more time with family.
Thank you, Mike, and that's admirable as well. I mean, it's tough enough to manage if a musician's career in this day and age, and especially if you're doing it and juggling a full-time position and family life and all that. So, that says a lot about your character, Mr. Mike Zapp, and thank you for that. And this is an interesting project. The Whammies are, and if you haven't seen the Whammies and you're watching the show today, even if you're watching after we're live, throw some comments in there about whether you've seen them or not. If you haven't seen them, you need to go see them, because it's an 80s, can I call it a fiesta of 80s? I mean, it's an 80s party, and anytime you guys take the stage, the energy level just goes from 0 to 100. I mean, it's just because all those songs, most of us from that era really love. I mean, we do. And I don't care who you are. You can lie all day and say, oh, I didn't like 80s music. Whatever. You're singing along to Aha and anybody else when it comes on the radio. It just happens. So the rest of you guys, anybody that wants to chime in, Jeff, Joe, or Josh, throw something in here about this change in the lineup.
Say something nice about me.
Prepared notes.
I haven't received my check yet, so I'm not saying a thing.
We're very excited. Mike gave us the news back in September, and you have that oh no moment. What are we gonna do? And no offense to the other guys in this band, it's me as a drummer. We're all very easy to replace. But when you have that personality in front of people, it's those are not a dime a dozen. Those are very rare gems. And so I remember right after, we kind of worked this out, and Tim was interested. He wanted to do this, and we rehearsed with him a couple times. We're like, yeah, this can work. It was right before the glow party at the Bell, and this just kind of sums up how I feel about it anyway. We were talking to Karis, and she was like, "Yeah, you're gonna be fine with Tim. You're gonna be fine with Tim." And as we were walking away, it's like, "Yeah, we just got lucky AF," is what I said as we were walking away. So that's kind of how I feel. I think the other guys are probably in a similar boat. I don't want to speak for them, but the timing couldn't have been better in our favor. So I'm very grateful and glad to have Tim around, and look forward to all the new fun things we're going to do with him.
Yes.
Josh, how about you? What do you got to say up there?
I'm just happy to not be the new guy anymore. You know, I mean, Tim's got to carry all the things. He's gonna pick up the bar tab at the end of the night. Now it's all the new guy stuff is over for me. It's really gonna be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, there goes the pay, Tim.
Yeah, hang on here.
Well, we didn't tell you that at the interview. Sorry, man.
No, that's one of the many things you left out.
That's a clause in page 44 in small print. But,
Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
Jeff, how about you?
Having Tim around, and
Tim who?
I love him, Michael.
I don't even know who this guy is.
You thought
No,
this was a
it's great.
doctor's appointment.
It was ultimately the best timing we could have wished for. Actually, saved us going through all the auditions and all that stuff, and I'm glad it happened. I'll miss Mike, sort of like a wart, but other than that, yeah, I've been with Mike on and off for 16 years, so it'll be tough, but we'll get through it somehow.
A little longer than that, actually.
Really? Well, it
Yeah, we
felt like
started it in 06.
oh God.
You know, I'm noticing something here. There's a lot of love between you guys and a lot of cutting up, and it is band's like a family. And unfortunately, I mean, I hate to put it in the term of a death in the family, but with Mike leaving, it's one of those things that it hurts. I mean, it hurts to lose your brother who's been playing with you for a long time, but like I said, you couldn't have found a better replacement in Tim. I admire him so much with his ability on the stage, and he's going to keep this at the level that it's always been at. And that's the cool part about it, I think, is the Whammies aren't going to take a whammy by Mike leaving. They're going to continue on and do what they do, and that's entertain the masses. And people talk about you a lot, guys. They do. They're out there. They don't talk crap about you. They talk good things about the Whammies show, and they all want to come see it. So how do you put this together? How do you bring Tim into the fold here? I mean, he knows the songs and such, but there's a lot of timing that goes into your show, a lot of choreographed maneuvers and videos and things that you guys play. How do you do that? Is it a lot of practice?
Yeah, how do you guys want to answer that?
We've been doing it so long, it's like second nature for us. So
Yeah.
you just have to we gave him some recordings and said, here's our versions of these songs, and get as close as you can for now, and we'll work on new stuff later. So
Yeah.
it was really easy with Mike doing all the work. He went out and found a replacement. That's how much he cares about this band. He went out and found somebody to take care of it. Most guys don't go searching for a replacement for themselves. They just leave. So
Well,
on the technical side, we have ways to kind of prompt the band on stage, things like that. There's automation and technology involved, and audio cues. There's some visual cues.
Hey, Tim.
So, once you kind of know how things work, it gets pretty easy, and we're pretty good at dragging you along till you figure it out. So
The one fun thing about a Whammy show that I've noticed, we practice and we'll run practice with the whole video behind us. So there's a screen showing us the video. So we're make sure that we're on time with everything. And it's like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen Everybody Wang Chung. I have not seen that video in probably 20 years. And next thing you know, I'm like glued in on the TV watching it. And like, wait, I got to remember lyrics. I got to do that. It's so fun. I didn't realize how fun it was to see some of these videos again, that they'll usually use bits and parts of the video. And yeah, you get caught up watching the video. I can definitely see people doing that, watching the video over watching us. But, if I stand high enough, I'm in front of the TV and they have to watch me then. So,
Well, that's what I love about a Whammy show. I mean, it's like a trip back in time, and those are my days, my videos that I watched on MTV and all those things. And you sit there and you think, man, I remember what I was doing back then, and it's a lot of nostalgia that goes into your music as well. And I think Mike did it so well, and he was so second nature with it on stage. He never had to glance back and look and see where you were in that video process or any of that. I mean, he was just, he was very well rehearsed. And to me, Tim, that seems like a tough task.
Yes,
it does. And I think you're going to do a little glancing for a while, probably, just to make sure you're on time. And I know you guys got click tracks and things like that keep things on time, but it's probably going to be a little tough for you the first few shows till you knock the cobwebs off.
Probably be watch sunglasses on probably the first couple of shows, so you can't tell where I'm looking. That's the other thing.
I think Tim Butterfield had the best statement in the world here. Said you're a walk-on.
So I would like to mention that Tim Butterfield is the reason that I got into the Naked Karate Girls. Glenn, the drummer, was searching around for a singer, and Tim was like, you should really check out Tim Anderson in 3 Degrees way back when. And he came and saw me. And I think at the time I was wearing like a goofy alien mask. We were doing funny stuff, but not to that level. And so it was like, I had on like an alien mask when he saw me singing. That's like one of his first stories of seeing me. And he was like, oh yeah, this is the guy I want. Because you have to really let down your guard and just let everything go to be able to play for the Naked Karate Girls. You can't just be like, I'm just going to do this for music and, that kind of thing. Then it's not going to work for you. You have to be able to be like, damn it, I'm going to wear this. What creepy outfit do I have? I'm going to wear this unitard wrestling singlet. I'm going to wear this thing and I'm going to look good in it. And damn it, I do look good in it, I've found. But it's like, there have been times where I've been on stage and I'm like, I'm in front of a whole bunch of people basically in my underwear right now. And I'm singing and I'm acting like, what is wrong with me?
Where are all those costumes going is what I want to know. Are you going to open a museum or what?
Dry cleaner.
I do have a few things planned. I donated a few things back because there are a few suits that I do not want to see ever again.
Hopefully not the singlet.
The singlet is gone. That's gone. That one's gone. But that still is a fun one to have around, yeah. But like we had these silver suits, and these silver suits look like we were gonna play at 9:00, but at 10:00 we had to go report to the oil refinery, and so glad to get rid of that stuff. But there's a couple I looked through. There's a lot of outfits that I'm like, I've worn these like one time with NKG. This could totally be worn with these guys. So yeah, I'll have some costume. It won't be costume changes, but every show will probably be a different outfit per se.
Interesting analogy about the silver suits, because I always equated them to like if the Bee Gees went on a road crew to pave the interstate is what it kind of looked like there. Those were interesting, but and the hats, the disco ball helmet, that kind of stuff. But
the other thing about those suits is that they do not breathe at all. So when you've got them on, you're insulated, basically, is what it was.
It's always great at a 100-degree festival in the summertime, isn't it?
Yeah. Whenever I saw suits, it was like, oh, I'm going to lose 10 pounds today. That kind of thing.
Let me change gears for a minute. I want to say the day I found out that Mike was leaving, we bumped into each other at lunch and just wow, that's Mike
up north.
Yeah. And he told me that. And to be honest, my heart hurt a little bit because I was like, man, this is such a great team and product that you guys put out there for the music lovers. And so when I did hear that Tim was going to join, I thought, well, Mike has done what Mike does best, and he's replaced himself, or he made this happen with somebody who's going to make this band continue on and the legacy continue on of the Whammies. And there's a lot to come for you guys. So if the people watching today have not seen the Whammies, in all seriousness, somebody that Joe, you'd probably be a good one for this. Throw some of the songs out there they can expect to see along with a video on the screens and such when you guys are playing.
Sure. I mean, everything from Duran Duran's "Hungry Like the Wolf." Tim mentioned "Everybody Have Fun Tonight." We Celebration, Cool in the Gang. We get into Depeche Mode. Guys, throw some song titles out here. I mean, we've probably got a catalog.
Iran.
Yeah, Iran, Flock of Seagulls.
Jesus,
We will
Mike.
touch a little bit on the rock, like some Poison. I think there's some Judas Priest in there sometimes. We cover a pretty good gamut. We might be expanding that repertoire a little bit under Tim. We might touch on some things that were a little bit out of Mike's wheelhouse. Yeah, it should be a good time. What are we doing with
The kitty cat says, "Mike, come home."
I was told I was being mean to my cat, so
Yeah.
just showing my cats off.
Now we've got all the PETA people going to tell us Mike's abusing the cat. I think, yeah. Mike, I'm going to mute you for a second because something is super loud in your microphone there. But I think it's the cat.
I thought it was the cat.
I think it is too.
Definitely the cat.
So,
Purring.
Joe, those are all great songs, and it's as you said. By the way, can you spell repertoire? That's what I want to know.
I can pronounce it Frenchly.
Okay,
I'd like
yes.
that.
I'd like you to write that down, please.
Yeah.
So, what else can we expect from the Whammies coming forth here, guys? Anybody?
I'll let Tim add on to what I'm about to say here. I mean, a lot more of the same, and hopefully more. We're working on ways to expand the video, not expand the video, just incorporate it a little better. Some of the stuff with Tim's shenanigans will get incorporated into that, and we'll see what we can come up with. Lots of ideas flying around now. It's kind of fun. So yeah.
Who does the technology? Who does all the technology on stage and all that?
I do.
Joe.
He does a heck of a great job.
Mike's
Really
pointing away from the screen, so I don't know what that. There you go.
Yeah, I didn't
It's off
realize
his-
it.
There we
Joe's
go.
on this side for my video.
Oh yeah.
Left, right. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, Joe does all the lighting and video, syncs it all up and everything else, and has a full-time job. So I don't know how he does it.
He calls that a job.
But he's happily married, too, which is amazing, too.
Joe,
Yeah,
you need to write a book, man. Write a book.
Yeah.
How to
been a
not be
lot of
divorced
fun.
in the music business.
Right, exactly. That's the book that's about to get written.
He's
It's been
he's
a
been
lot of
around a
fun.
computer, so he knows how to get around a computer pretty good. So
Very, very quickly too.
yeah,
I gave him a couple of ideas, like, what was it? Like, I think it was like Iran, Flock of Seagulls. And we have this video in the background of this Lamborghini driving around. And I'm like, it really needs a little something else. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know what would be cool during the chorus if it was like Forrest Gump running and just a bunch of running video. And I'm like, he's like, oh my God, it's a great idea. He had it ready to go by that day. It was like really quick. It was really cool.
I try.
Yeah, he does a good job, man.
Joe?
I've got it down to a process now. After you pump out 70 of these things for all the songs on the catalog at any given time, and you kind of get your system down pretty quick. It does take about 4 different softwares to make the final product. But yeah, I'm shocked it works, but it works amazingly. So yeah.
Joe, you are never allowed to leave.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
he's worked himself into that position
Yes.
pretty well.
Yes.
Yeah.
You sealed the deal there. You're never going anywhere.
Yeah.
Couple of things real quick, guys, before we have to go today. Number one, Tim, what are you going to bring to the stage? You're going to bring some new things. I know. What are you going to bring to the stage?
I know this is
Tim?
one that they've all been asking. I'll bring a little bit of youth to the band. I can tell you that because Mike's a couple years older than me, so there's my youth. And I'm bringing the facial hair because I'm allowed to now. Bringing that. What will I bring? I'm going to try and keep it the same energy as what Mike did and everything, and listen to the songs learned how to do them similar to what he does as well, and then do some my own way kind of thing. As far as props and antics, I will use a few, but because I am so short, it'll most likely be hats, I figured is what it would be. And we don't want to have a whole bunch of stuff laying around on stage. Plus, it's like some of the props that they do have on stage right now are vintage 80s toys and stuff like that. And that's like really cool. Like the E.T. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is there. That's really cool. But
do you have a gopher too? I think.
Yeah.
Is the Caddyshack gopher out there or something like that?
Yeah.
Doing a
So
little
stuff like
dance.
that. I'm working on a few things right now, a few surprises that I will be bringing, like a decorated mic stand, that kind of thing. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Okay, first show for Tim Anderson that's going to be out there with the Whammies. Can you tell me when that is?
That is going to be
February, right?
February. Thank
16th.
goodness. Thank goodness I wrote it down. 21st.
Stump the band, yeah.
Am I right?
Technically, we are going to do a little set at a charity event on the 16th that I'm not sure if we're allowed to talk about yet.
That's what I wanted to kind of segue into. Yeah.
I just got my time zone or my time slot today.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry, couldn't think of the word.
You'll be joining me as the MC and host of this event, along with Ken Anderson, and we'll just leave it at that. Keep your eyes peeled for the lineup because the lineup is killer. It's going to be a great group of musicians that day, and really kind of redesigned that whole process. So it's going to be fun. Going to be not as long a day as it was before. So you'll have a chance to see, I think, 3 great bands and enjoy your time there, along with meeting and greeting everybody who's there, who's all the dignitaries and the former Bengals players, and that it'll be a lot of fun. So we're looking forward to that one.
I'll be there.
And we're going to Mike will be there, and there's the biggest celebrity on the screen we have today.
Watching.
Second biggest.
He'll be standing over in the corner with his arms crossed like
Yes.
every musician does.
Judging.
I would have done
Judging.
that. I would,
Yes.
And it's so funny to see guys in the audience who do this. And it's like I can immediately ask them, okay, what band do you play for? And
What
then
instrument do you play?
Yeah.
what instrument do you play? Because I've even gone to shows and stand
Catch
around
yourself
watching the
doing it.
band, and I go, no, no,
Don't be that guy.
don't be that guy.
Thanks for the comment, Chris Reese. He says Tim is so reserved and subtle. Yeah.
Oh
he is.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Mike, real quick, Mike, any parting words for the folks out there? You got one more show, or you?
Yeah, we got one more show
One more
coming up
with
this
you?
Friday at Naughty Pine. Starts at 9, goes to 1. Just a lot of thanks. I mean, I've met a lot of really nice people through this almost 20 year process of being in the Whammies, much less before that with other bands. And I built a lot of really good friendships. And I said this before, these are people I'm going to know forever and care about, have parties with, go to Christmas events with. I've even been invited to people's Thanksgivings and stuff like that. So it really means a lot to me to have everybody that's supported not only me, but the Whammies through all of this. It's going to be a little bittersweet this Friday. I mean, it's a long career. It started back in 1995 for me, and it's going to be weird not having my year scheduled out for the band. That's a refreshing thing, but it's going to be a little bit weird feeling for me.
Yeah, let me know in about 3 months how that's working out for you. All right.
There'll definitely be an itch. I'm sure there'll be an itch, and I'll miss
I'm
it.
sure. Nobody can do what you do and just walk away and never miss it. I mean, you're going to miss you're going to miss looking out at those people looking up at you guys. And, that's the thing I love about the Whammies. It's a visual experience, and the people get a chance in the audience to not only see, like you said, the videos, but the antics of the band and the whole thing. And that's a plus. And there's a whole lot of bands out there, and I'll get in trouble for this, they go through the motions. They get on stage, like I said, they play. They've done it for years. They'll look at you on the break and say, I've done this 35 years. It's the same faces. But you guys always seem to enjoy what you're doing. And it looks like a party out there. So that's that's why people flock to come and see you. And see, I threw that flock in there for the flock of seagulls thing.
No, very good.
Yeah, that's my little weirdness today. So, anything else you guys want to share before we go? Because we're running out of time today. But I want to thank you all for being here and being part of the program. And it's great to have popped the Brady Bunch screen in with all you guys. So, who has anything else they want to share today about this project and what's shaking?
Joe, you go first.
Yeah. I'll say this publicly so Mike feels even better about it. Mike has been like a brother to me for a long time. He and I have ran this thing as a team for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. He came back in, I think, 06. Oh, damn. Is that
16.
Long? 16, yeah. It's kind of like losing my other half. It's like my spouse just died a little bit. So I'm a little scared, nervous.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. It's how my wife kind of referred to it as. So I look forward to what's to come. But Mike, thank you so much for all you did, and I'm very much going to miss working with you.
Thanks, man.
Oh,
Joe's very smart there. You notice that he did not look at that camera at all when he said
no, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, you should talk to my therapist, bro.
Hi, Mike. Talking to your therapist.
Oh,
You
my.
need a tissue? Need a tissue, Joe.
Yeah.
I need you guys on once a week. You're good therapy for me. All right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's we've, like he said, we've got the show. They've got the show on Friday at the Naughty Pine. That'll be Mike's last show. I'll be there. Just I'm going to be in the audience is what it is. I'm not going to be playing, not doing anything. Because I'm not 100% ready on the songs. That's the other thing. Yeah. So, but I just wanted to see. I actually haven't. I've seen like maybe 45 minutes of a Whammy show, and was extremely impressed when I saw that. So I am kind of excited to see an actual show. The real quick funny story is I've heard the show, and I've heard some of the antics that happen. And one of the antics that I love to tell that has been really funny has been they have audio of the songs so I can learn how the songs go. And they do Wang Chung. And there's the bridge part where it goes really, really high. And Pete, who's not here today, usually sings that. So I'm listening to the audio of it, and all of a sudden it comes to that really high part that the bridge, and you hear Mike go, or you hear Pete go, what happened? Why didn't you not hit that? I asked them about it. Come to find out, Jeff hit him in the crotch right before he sang.
Just helping out, doing my
Just
part.
helping out. And I'm like, this is what I
Gotta get
got
those
to
high
look
notes,
for.
baby.
This is what I got to look forward to.
Jeff, that's the magic pliers. It is.
That's it. Buddy,
I get the
he could
same
use some
treatment
help.
for Runaway.
Yeah, chain treatment on Runaway. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right,
I've been
guys.
paid-
Anything
I
else?
have been paid back, that's for sure.
Anything else you have to share before we have to go today?
It's going to be Mike's last show at the Naughty Pine here. Come on out and support him. And honestly, Mike, yeah, if I see you at a show, your ass is getting up and singing. Sorry to cuss.
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And
But hey, there's
We'll
always
see.
open mic and open jam and stuff like that to do. So to fulfill your. But thank
all right, guys, we've been on with the Whammies here. You can follow them on Facebook and Instagram at the Whammies if you'd like to, and see what they're up to. And I want to close with this. Mike, thank you so much. You have really done great things. I've worked with you at several events, and you're just a class act, my friend. And Kevin Cooper sums it up right here, and I'm going to leave it with this. It says, bands out there, take note. This is how you transition a band member. Class acts, everyone. Good stuff.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
Good stuff. Doug Hall, thank you for that comment. Carla, thanks to everybody watching today. If you're watching after we're live, leave us a comment. These guys are going to share it on their page, the Whammies page and such. So they'll be watching as well if you have a comment or a question about the Whammies. And get out and see Mike's last show on Friday night, Naughty Pine, 9 to 1, running a little late show there. So, yeah, Mike, that's past your bedtime, my friend.
I hope
Yeah.
you're in bed.
After
It is.
2020, suddenly that's a late show.
I know, isn't that weird?
It is.
Yeah.
Very
It is.
strange.
That was the best thing that happened to cover bands.
I agree.
Good timing.
It's good for old people. All right,
Especially
guys.
old cover
Thanks.
bands like us.
Hang in there for a minute with me till we go off the air. Thanks, fellas. And thanks for watching today, guys. I'll be back with you tomorrow live at 5 with Who's Playing Out, the best musicians and venues in the tri-state, and who's playing for the week. Join us then. It's brought to you by our friends at Heather's in Springboro, Ohio. We'll see you next time here at All Around Town Radio.
Thank you, Scott.
How about that theme song? Isn't that great? It is.
It's great.
I love it.
Again, who did it?
Sweet Sister Mercy.
That's right.
Nice.
My boy Mark.